Hello fellow Atarians out there, this is Sancho the Cartridge Gamer. Forgive the voice, getting over a little bit of a cold here. But there is a sensitive topic going around that I feel I would like to weigh my opinion on. And as you didn't tell by the title of my video, is that I will not be going to see the new Ghostbusters movie. Instead, I will probably be watching, Space Camp or, Last Starfighter. This is something I feel I need to talk about because anyone who grew up in the 80s like I did grew up with games like this and awesome movies like the Ghostbusters franchise. I even liked 2, even though some people said they didn't think it was great. I thought it was awesome. The reason I want to weigh in on this is that there really are a lot of conflicting things going on. Even people attacking people like the AVGN and things, Angry Video Game Nerd, for saying that he's not going to see the movie. Well, I'm not either. Has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a male. I simply don't think it's a good movie. Period. Let's get into the first little just nitpicks about this. Okay, I'm not going to go show you the watch and the trailer. I've watched them both. Yeah, they suck. Anyway, here's the nitpicks. Just all-female cast. Why? Wasn't necessary. A blended cast? Cool. That would have been fine. But why does it have to be all-female? I didn't understand the need to do that. Like I said, I'm a humanist. Total equality in the gender divide completely. What's a boy thing, what's a girl thing, just in that. I am an equalist. A humanist. Not pro-masculine or pro-feminine. I am not any of those. I'm an equalist, okay? I believe we should just have just an equal society of men, women, just everyone equal. That's my view of society. People say, oh, well, boys and their toys, boys like electronics, and girls like sewing, or they say, blue's a boy color, pink's a girl color. Well, my favorite color happens to be pink. I love sewing. As a kid in the 80s, I had strawberry shortcake, Barbie dolls. I had G.I. Joes, Legos, and Star Trek action figures. I had all of that. So I had what you would call girl toys and boy toys growing up. So I didn't find anything wrong with playing with whatever I happened to like. That's a critical thing. And so that's always been my mentality. An equal society. And this movie, unfortunately, doesn't deliver that. And my main problem, as I'm going to point out to this, and I'm fully expecting people to comment on this the wrong way and immediately backlash this, but it's similar to how they cast like Avatar: The Last Airbender when they tried live action. I refused to see it after liking the anime attempt of the cartoon. They just took the characters basically from Ghostbusters and just turned them into women. That isn't equaling. In the early clip, if you look at it, on the proton pack, there's whole hearts on it. The charge meter. Hearts. Little heart. Once again, this is a girl thing. Oh boy, girl things like little hearts, It's seen as a feminine thing. So once again, you're just pushing the point. Elementary is a good show. Which they say, well, what if one of Watson's, descendants or people happen to be a female finally? They cast Lucy Liu. Works awesome. Would I mind a female James Bond? I would love to see a female James Bond. I don't care I think they should pick the actor. Notice I don't use the term actress. I believe just actor. A person who plays a character. They should just pick a person who is right for that role. So let's say they don't, after Daniel Craig, they find some woman who could play just a hotshot, awesome agent instead, better than the other guys who try out for it. They should pick her. But just taking, but if it feels like Elementary, just taking the entire cast of that and replacing it with all females, that would have been like, why? What was the need to do this? We need equality not differential. And that's what this movie is, just a differential. It's targeting women, teenage girls, who are going to be like, wow, girl power. And there's even a picture of the cast wearing pink going girl power. And that's like, why? Why? You know? And even the cast and crew are nicknaming the movie Fembusters. Okay, that's not the fans' creation. That is what some people involved in the movie are calling it already. So I don't like to see where they just take characters and just say, oh, you know, let's take this cast and let's just flip it all male or all female, or let's do this all Asian. Let's just do this. That's not necessary. And that's what this is, not necessary. We wanted Ghostbusters 3. Not Ghostbusters the remake. As I say, they're rebooting. You know, rebooting. Well, let's call rebooting what it really is. It's remaking something. There were early black and white movies made in the 30s and 40s. And in the 50s and 60s with Technicolor, they came and remade them in color. Okay? Well, guess what? I happen to prefer the originals. Because that was when the script was live and vibrant and new at the time. And so while you can remake it in color, big whoop. The original was during the time when that script was new, and that was the hot concept. And so that was played with a lot more energy, in my opinion. They remade True Grit and My Fair Lady, which were just well done already. They didn't need a remake. The general idea is actually Hollywood's just plain out of ideas. We've seen that, okay? I don't like reboots. The Star Trek reboots are crap, in my opinion. I hate them. I saw part of the first one and I never wanted to see one again. They turned Star Trek into some kind of a space war. And it's awful. It is awful. And full of lies. May I point out to you. They promised they weren't going to affect the other universe. Well, they blew up 2 planets. With a couple billion people on them in our universe in the process, Romulus and Remus, so there's lie one right there. Anyway, I digress, I'm getting off topic. It's just a remake. And if you look at the trailers, I'm serious, go look at the trailers. And then go watch Ghostbusters 1. The original movie. They're almost copying the characters and the scenes from the movie. But not cool. You know, you got the geeky character with the swirly hair. That's Egon. You know, you've got the character who goes, wow, and collects the slime. That's Dan Aykroyd. You know. You got the self-centered kind of character, and so you have the whole ensemble. You know, Peter Venkman-ish, you know, you have all that gathered. I believe they're even trying to pull in kind of the Ernie Hudson-y character in too. And mix all that kind of into this new reboot. And it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The trailers were awful. The CG looks like crap. I don't even like CG. But look at like Lord of the Rings, how they used it to make like the Ghost Army in the third movie. I mean, it looked stunningly good. This stuff just looks... I'm going to say, everyone's been saying this. It looks like Nickelodeon, it's like goo. You ever saw that? And there was a TV show I remember like where they like would put like Nickelodeon Splat, where they had like goo fall on people. It looks like that stuff. So like they're trying to mix Nickelodeon kid stuff with a main blockbuster movie, and it doesn't work. And the Stay Puft Marshall Man, who I think I saw at the end of the clip, looks like some kind of freakish monster, or in the original movie Dan Aykroyd imagined him to be something harmless and cute looking in general. So it's like, what the hell are they doing with this movie? Nothing really. I wanted to see a film that was the true sequel to the first 2 awesome movies I grew up with. And instead I get a reboot. And instead of like passing the torch with the old cast coming and new cast to work together to defeat something, and they say it's all you guys, shake hands, and they pass the torch on to the new group. And even if you want to add, you know, female perspective, male perspective, and mix it, you could have put like some women, some men in it. They just wouldn't put all women in it. 2, the cast. People say it's a funny all-star SNL cast, people like that. Well, I haven't liked SNL for years, and I'm talking a long time, since I've gone with this refreshing new humor that's been coming out. You know, The Hangover, Knocked Up, and all these movies they're talking about these new humors that are great. You know, the movies like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, that kind of stuff. And that's the new brand of humor right now. And I don't find it funny. I find it just kind of lewd and unnecessary, and I'm not prudish at all. I grew up with 80s movies. Come on, Beverly Hills Cop and all some of them are awesome. I do not like the new comedy. It's awful. And it's really unoriginal. It's like they're reverting back to Three Stooges slapstick to get the joke. The next point, you know, as I said, so if you talk about all these members of the cast that are like really funny and awesome, I've seen some other stuff. I don't think it's funny. I don't. So I don't find this entertaining. And from what I saw of the trailer, the most interesting characters in the movie is the guy who tells the girls, but I think you can handle it, man, in the beginning. He's hilarious. He's a really good actor. Oh, and then you have the male secretary guy. He's like just, even the few lines he says, like when he dusts himself off with him, you know, and takes off when he gets possessed, is funny. I mean, he just captures. He's got a good presence. It's pretty good. So when the assistant characters look more interesting than the main characters, there's a problem right there. Okay, main nitpick number 3. I do not like racial jokes. This is one of the reasons I don't watch everything that Eddie Murphy and some people make. Is when the racial jokes start, I turn off. I mean, it was done to an extent in the 80s, but it's really gotten out of hand now. You know, the whole, like, white man this, black joke this. It's not funny to me. I don't like gender or racial divisioning of people. I like things equal. And when people try to make jokes about when a black person does this or a white person does this, I don't like to use that term. Because when they say that, they're turning to African Americans, which they're not actually black in color. There are some tribes that are extremely dark and close to that, but there's brown and peaches and all different kinds of hues. Like when they call Native Americans redskin, it's really wrong. Okay, I don't like that. So I don't like any of that divisionary thing. And so when the racial jokes start, that's when I lose interest. And the second trailer has, I don't know if that was a race thing or a lady thing, but I'm mad as hell. And I went, well, that's enough for me. Because that was their stoogish attempt at someone falling on their ass and everyone laughing. Well, I wasn't laughing. I was like, what? No. Oh, no. Not another racial joke or gender lady joke. Oh, no. Not again. Because that's all these movies are doing. And it's just throw another one in. So, that's my main nitpick right there. The scene is not funny. It's just bad. It's just bad. And once again, racial jokes coming in the movie automatically throw me off. So, race thing or lady thing joke, that automatically makes me hate the movie. Because that's not a better future, that's just further pushing the point that we need to keep making jokes like that. And they're not funny. It's like when people say, oh, that's so gay, when they're trying to say something mad. When in actuality, it's being rude to gay people. So I don't talk like that. I don't make those kind of jokes. And I don't like Hollywood making them either. So those are my nitpicks, okay? But what is the primary bottom line? And this is where people who post negative comments don't understand. The bottom line is this movie looks bad. From a CG standpoint, from a script standpoint, from a main actor versus the background actors you see standpoint, from just a special effects standpoint, just from and from an originality standpoint, it just looks crap. And that is what people don't understand and need to get through their head. I'm not going to see it. A lot of people say the movie doesn't look good and they're still going to see it anyway to talk about it. That's the problem. Because when these movies make your $12.50 or whatever you pay to go see the movie opening box office weekend, that totals into the money that the movie makes. If a movie looks like crap and you help it make $30 million, you didn't prove a point. See, when people said Xbox with the lockout software and they decided not to buy or pre-order Xboxes and made them change it with the Xbox One, that made a change with people voting with their wallet. Well, the same thing's here. If a movie looks bad, you don't spend your money on it. So I won't see it. I won't see it at matinee price. I will not see it in the dollar theater, and I will not rent it at Redbox. If someone hands me a downloaded copy on a disc, I burn disc, I will not watch it. Now, why is that? Because you have to factor time management. Remember, humans have a finite lifespan. As Star Trek says, we are linear beings. We live one life as we live it. So, am I going to spend an hour and a half watching something that's bad? Or am I going to spend an hour and a half watching something that's good? Well, I'm going to watch something that's good and that morally agrees with my conscious decisions. And this movie, as I said, does not. It is a divisionary movie as opposed to a unifying movie. And it's, once again, a remake, not a sequel. So that is my bottom line. I'm trying to tell people this, is we wanted Ghostbusters 3. Passing the torch. You know? Old cast meets new cast. That's what we wanted. And they stalled and stalled. You know? Until Egon died. And then now they couldn't do that. But they could put some of them, I heard rumors that some, if they all couldn't do it, they wouldn't do it. But the point is, we wanted Ghostbusters 3. And we got as a remake. A really crappy looking, modern comedy remake that doesn't look good. And they're matching the movie scene for scene. If you watch the first movie, as I said, going into the first building, being warned about what's in there, and then they find the thing, the ghost, the apparition. When the first building gets ectoed, the Aykroyd-like character goes, wow, and swoops to slime. And then the preview goes, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Same thing, kind of the Aykroyd surprise character. But at the same time, she can't say amazing or wow. She's got to go, that's so beautiful, because girls like to say beautiful. See, that's just another divisionary thing they're creating. And that's my problem with this. The scene where they're walking through the lobby. This is just a recreation. And in the end, you see like the whole vortex open up, and there's like this creepy Stay Puft Marshmallow they're kind of introducing. It is not original. You could just watch the first Ghostbusters movie and get the same value, but much, much more. In my opinion, a much funnier cast and a much more entertaining cast. You know, in Ghostbusters 2, Ernie Hudson, an awesome movie, by the way, in my opinion. So, why did we need this? We don't. And that's my problem. We don't need it. We needed 3, not the remake. And that's the problem. And it boils down to it, no matter how you want to look at my opinion of this movie looks bad. It's not funny. The jokes fall flat. It's once again full of gender and racial joke. You know, jokes are going to be put in here. And the secondary characters already sound more interesting than the main characters. And that is what I see when I see it. I'm not going to spend my money on that. Or my hour and a half even for free. I'm not going to watch it. I really, truly hope we see a real Ghostbusters movie one day that really is right. And we do see Hollywood open up to men and women and everyone else equally. But this movie is far from that. In my opinion, is far from being gender-based or biased. I am just mad at this movie because it is not what it was supposed to be. And because it's done poorly. It's just ripping off an original movie that was already good. It's just another example of Hollywood out of ideas. And that is what it boils down to. And trying to remake things and refresh something in a way that isn't entertaining. So if it's entertainment you're looking for, this doesn't look like it. And I want people to understand that you shouldn't be lashing out at people who say this. Who say, I'm not going to see the movie. And you immediately just lash at them and say, oh, how dare you. You know, it's not right, okay? If a movie looks bad, and it's our money to spend, shouldn't we choose how we spend it? And if you really want to look at it from, like I said, an equaling standpoint, dividing by picking an all femmed up cast or all masculine cast isn't the solution. It's equalizing it. And this is not equalizing it. It looks like a bad movie. That is our main point. And if you're going to judge people on that, then that just makes no sense. I have even shown these previews to women I know, and they think the movie looks like crap too. So it's not even just me. So from male to female's perspective, anyone you ask, everyone, several people I've talked to say the movie looks bad. It doesn't look good. And there's even women I've talked to involved in that vote. So stop hating on people just for saying they don't like this movie. Okay? I wanted to thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. We got lots more fun videos coming up. And I'll have more of these The Cartridge Gamer Is series coming up, which will be really my personal opinions and views on games and thoughts on things from the retro 80s in my era of time and how I think about the things going on. So, this is Sancho, the Cartridge Gamer, signing out, and game on.